All right, I think we're live now. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is Thursday, September 24th, 2020. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to spend it with me, talk a little markets here, answer some of your questions. Before we begin, make sure to click bottom right-hand corner. There's a little square. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, of course. Turn on notifications for our channel. Really do appreciate it. So you don't miss anything. Every day we do this morning note, 9 a.m. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss it, of course. And more great things to come. Any suggestions on next videos would be appreciated as always. New ideas are always welcome. Okay, let's talk market, shall we? Dow futures down 161 points, down 0.60. Nasdaq continues its flush from yesterday, down 137, down 1.28%. S&P futures 3207, holding that 3200 level, now down 0.74%. Russell 2000 futures are down 1442. Crude oil futures are below 40, down 0.68%. Bitcoin futures is now at 10,380, up about 1%. Even with the dollar up 94.50 and an index at 0.12%. Just had an interesting number come out. Bitcoin's realized market cap, is now 43 billion above 2017 all-time high. Wow, something to think about. Gold futures down 0.5%. Futures are now in a bear market, down 20% from its highs, 4.33% at the downside at 2209. Gold is now at 1858. Euro dollar down 24 pips, 116.36 for my forex people, and dollar yen 105.41, up slightly against the yen. And the VIX above 30. That's a level we've been watching. So I'm going to go talk about that here in a second. 30 and a quarter. It's at 5.84% to the upside. So let's go ahead and bring up the VIX. I talked about that yesterday on the recap and the levels I'm looking for. So the level I'm looking for obviously is 30 to hold. If we break above 30, we're going to get more pain in the stock market, obviously. So I put an alert at 30.61. You could see here we held these levels on the VIX this Monday. That's where we hit the lows. It fell, the S&P went up. And then, of course, the week before, we had a little bit of a rally, slightly, and then a nice little bounce on VIX. VIX usually is up when the market is down because it's their fear gauge. Also, Thursday and Friday before it, you see that 30 level. And then the Tuesday and Friday before that, we were as high as 38.28. So my question is that do we break above this 30.61, kind of a double top on VIX? VIX is not a tradable security, mind you, it's just an index. If you wanted to trade VIX, it's VXX. I don't trade that, but again, it's just something to see. Again, I'd rather play spike puts if that's the case. But again, 38.28 is your high for the last 20 days. If we break 30.61, then 34, 30, 35 is in order. That would be next on the list. And then you see E-mini futures would come back down a little more. Let me go ahead and bring up E-mini futures here. The 100-day moving average is definitely in its cross sides. You get to 34 VIX. We've been breaking that, 3186. Big number to look at, and I wanted you guys to see is that if we tap on S&P futures, let me see if I have that number. Let's see. I thought I tapped it. Let me see here. I wrote it down for my team. Give me a second. I know I typed it up. I just gotta find it. Okay, 3084. If you break 3084, which is probably your next fib line, that's next year around 3048, but 3084. If you tap 3084 on S&P futures, all of the gains for the third quarter will be wiped out. The S&P is now red for the year. Red for the year. Keep in mind. Um, Looking back on it, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up ES to give us a little more room here. ES in January, let me see if I can bring up January 2nd. We were right around 3266. We broke below that. So let's see if we bounce off the 100 or slice through it, and then 3100, which is right above that 3084 level, where the third quarter is wiped out in regards to gains, would be the 200-day. That's a big, big level. But to me, the 100-day is a really, really important level as well because if you see, we have been above it since May, the whole time. We've been above the 100-day moving average since May. So that could be changing really fast. Granted, the 100-day moving average has creeped up since July, which is good, but the 200-day has been pretty steady right around 3,100. Ever since we broke it the last time we broke it was in June. So again, from June on, let's see if we could stay above that. Again, the statistically speaking, and I posted this, statistically speaking, there hasn't been an incumbent running for president that has won re-election with the stock market red for the year since Eisenhower. I believe that was in 1956. So he had a red stock market and he won re-election. So the last time individuals have lost re-election bids, I guess Gerald Ford would be one. Stock market was red. He lost. You also had Jimmy Carter lost. George Bush Sr. lost as well. So those are the last three where you had the stock market red and the incumbent lost the election bid. Does that mean that Trump will lose? That remains to be seen. It could be just more than the stock market, but it's just something to look at, obviously. He could definitely win re-election even if stocks are red, but historically speaking, presidential wise and stock market wise, it just shows that parameter there. It's just something to look at. That's it. Bottom line. It's not a political statement. It's just a historical one. Definitely, he could definitely go the passage of Eisenhower, where he wins re-election even with the stock market red year to date. Just something to think about, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at pre-market movers. I'm going to go ahead and read those off to you. Obviously, a red day. Some levels I want you guys to look at. Let's see. Okay, market. Let me see. Pre-market. See if I can bring that up here. See pre-market movers. Oh, just got an alert to the downside. 3,200 now on E-mini futures. Let's see if we get it. Okay, so Apple is down 2%. That's what's moving. In the techs area, Tesla's down 4.43%, AMD down 1.35%, Microsoft 1.23, Facebook down 1.29, Nvidia down 1.4, Zoom is down 3% today, Amazon down 1.26%, American Airlines down 2.35%. Looking at what's moving, Bank of America holding up pretty strongly. Goldman Sachs is actually up 0.87% with a price upgrade. Johnson Johnson up 0.22%, and Salesforce.com down 1%. And Nike giving back a little bit of its gains from yesterday, down 1.92%. That's kind of your big movers now. There's some other small names that are moving big, like Sunworks up 282%, Polar Power down up 108, and Net Element up 128%. So you get some penny stock movers here and there, but we don't really trade those, by the way. Okay, so some levels to look at that are very important. Obviously, we just talked E-mini futures. Let's talk about the NASDAQ, and I'll do and bring up the Qs. So it'll be a lot easier to look at. Let's go ahead and maximize this sell together. Again, complete breakdown to the downside below every single main moving average that's in my screen. So again, there's nothing bullish here. Your next level down, again, if we were playing puts, and we played puts yesterday, the 263s, we're basically being the money now. 254.81 is your 100-day moving average, or 255.80 is your 100-day moving average on the daily. So looking at that, that'd be a level I'd be watching, 255. So let's see if we break these lows here, the low of 260.11, which is the intraday low this week. If you break that, then I would definitely want to take a look at the 255s for next week. We could probably get a little bit of traction there as you get some continuation. Big mover here on Apple, obviously. Big level for me is 104.76. I talked about that a couple of days ago, I believe on Monday, but we bounced off that. So keep that level there, 104.76. If you break that, I'm definitely taking a look at the 100 puts to play. If you were watching us yesterday, I talked about Roku and about that break. If you caught that, congratulations. I had a couple of DMs saying that they caught that due to the morning note. So awesome work. It was at 194.30 level. Hopefully you close the same day. We caught that yesterday. So again, nice fall here below the 50-day moving average. Again, we could obviously retrace back to 76.14 if we get that continuation. We did have a ascending pattern wedge, ascending triangle pattern, but then again, it broke down with everything else in tech. Momentum is still in play for the most part. You're seeing momentum names kind of outperforming most other most indices. So that's kind of what I'm watching for is momentum names. But looking here, wait for the cash session to open at 9:30 because you tend to get reversals. If you're up on futures, they tend to sell it. If you're down on futures, they tend to buy it. A lot of it's just closing positions, I've noticed, right around 9:30. So 9:30 to 10 is your opportunity just to watch. Don't jump into anything right away. That should be your schedule. 9:30 to 10, just watch, let the market churn. Your next thing is that right around 2:30 is margin call time in the market. Usually people close their intraday positions. Around 1:30, ETFs cannot buy any more stock. So that's another level. So you want 9:30 to 10, 1:30, 1 to 1:30, 2:30. Those are your big times to watch. So that you should put alarms on your phone for that if you're watching the screen. You should need some more volatility. Between 12 and 1 is the lunchtime snooze. That's a good opportunity for you guys to just eat your lunch and just watch the screens or do what else you got to do for the day. But that's kind of what I'm watching. 9:30 to 10, that churn, and then you have 1:30 for the ETF stop of buying, and then you have the next one at 2:30 was your margin call levels. This is based on Bloomberg. Right around that time at 2:30, margin calls are called in. So day traders have to close their positions either up or down. It doesn't really define that we're going to move up because we had Nasdaq ignite right at 2:30, and then we had Nasdaq fall yesterday at 2:30. So really pick your poison. And then of course you have power hour between 3 and 4. Right around 3:50, we usually get a slight sell-off around 3:50. This is just patterns I'm noticing. It's not gospel, it's not law. It just happens this way. So again, those are things I'm watching. But again, Apple is interesting. I want to see 104.76. If it breaks below 100, I'm buying more shares. Definitely. I bought some Tesla yesterday. I have my levels for my shopping list with my investment club. We have been buying this dip slightly, obviously. We did this in March. We're doing it again. Again, I still have the bull thesis longer term. When I say hashtag stay bullish, again, I'm not looking 5 minutes from now. I'm looking longer term. That's why the investment club is sticking with the strong stock names with great balance sheets. We're focused on growth, not dividend, since rates are so low. That's been our goal since the start of the year. All right, we'll leave it there. Good morning. Sharir Ali asks, good morning, Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia outlook. Well, Tesla, I do like long term. I did buy some yesterday, but again, short term, I went ahead and bought some puts yesterday. Got a little bit of money out of it, but again, pretty pricey. Again, you're getting some extension to the fall, but 326.15, I will be buying more shares, and I don't mind owning Tesla long term. I'm up on it quite a bit, so I have no problem holding this great company long term. I do like the future growth prospects of it, but again, you could see with the Nasdaq, Tesla is falling. And we're at 502 now, we're at 361. I don't think we're at a bear market, but I can go ahead and calculate that for you, exactly where we are. So our high was 502.49 post split. We are now at 361.21, which is the current pre-market price. We're down 28% off the highs. To me, that's a nice discount. So again, I love to buy stocks on pullbacks. That's just the way I do it as an investor. Since I don't need the money long term, I can lock it up for 5 to 10 years. That's no problem. That's something to look at. If this is money that you're holding for a house or something like that, then you need to stay away from stocks currently because volatility may just get worse. Again, the market is basically seeing the uncertainty of an election coming up. Looking at Amazon again, Amazon's kind of a better chart than Tesla here. I have an alert at 28.65. I will buy Amazon at that level. I will add more. I have a nice position on Amazon long term. Love the company. Again, great profits, great revenue. What more could you say about Amazon? We also have Prime Day coming in October. Definitely would love to buy in blood when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own. But again, I do like it long term. When it comes to trading options on Amazon, be very careful. It's very expensive. We're still below the 200 day moving average is your resistance short term. And then Nvidia, another company that I own long term, love them as well. Again, pretty much a sideways action, probably outperforming most of the market in the NASDAQ. And you could see my level of 470.13 to add some more. So that's what I got there in front of me. MSFT, again, most tech guys have to understand is running with the Nasdaq. They're big parts of it. You can see slight breakdown, but around 195 is your support. If you break that level, then you could start looking at some puts. Definitely look at some buying opportunities. Microsoft, my level is right around 185. Once you get that break level, I'm buying. Definitely buying some more Microsoft. I love the company long term. It's one of my larger holdings in my portfolio. Hi, Carlos. Good morning. Thank you so much for what you do. Do you see the market sliding to June highs, Thurston 300? That's a really good question. What really is your outlier here is if, as the race tightens and more of the rhetoric comes up after the debate, if you ask me today, do we hit 3,000? I say no. I think we can get close to around 3,150, 3,100. But 3,000, I just don't see it happening. I think more of the fire will be below Congress and the White House to do something to prop this market up, obviously. So either pass some kind of stimulus ahead of time, something out there, some kind of tax break in order to prop the market to ease this selling would probably happen. Could it hit 3,000? Absolutely. If it does, of course, I will be buying more stocks. Again, I like these moves, but again, you're talking about a total third quarter wipeout. Think of it this way: the more the stock market falls, it's bleaker statistically for the president to be reelected. And he knows that. And I'm sure the administration knows that, historically speaking. It's not a guarantee of any kind. I do not know who will win. Obviously, all again, when it comes to the podcast, I'll explain both and what will happen if which one or the other does win. So we'll go over that here. Am I screwed on the Twitter 47 calls? Should I just close? Let's see Twitter. Twitter had a great move yesterday. It is now at 44.57. See at the open, give it 10 minutes. If it doesn't break 45, you'd have to close and take your L there. But we had the 47 calls and we got out. I'm sorry that you missed the exit. Are all these timings you mentioned Eastern Standard Time? Yes, correct. This is Eastern Standard Time. And Bill says, did you catch Battery Day? I did not watch it, honestly. Had some family stuff I was doing, so I did not watch it, but I was reading a little bit about it. I like the technology, obviously long term, gives me the bull case on Tesla. With Nikola falling and the competitors not, there really isn't any competition in the EV field like Tesla does. It makes me more bullish on their prospects long term. So again, I liked where we are with that announcement. If the stock falls, so be it, because I can buy more personally. So either way, I like the technology. I like the fact they're going to bring a $25,000 car to market, more of a mass seller out there. I can't wait for that Roadster. I do want to buy one, honestly, one in the future, but obviously not right now. Nike. Nike, love long term. That was one of our top 10 stocks of 2020. But again, it is actually pulling back from the high of 134, about $10 from that high post earnings. So again, I do love Nike long term. I'm definitely thinking about buying some more. I'll buy some more right around 120 because they had an amazing quarter. I love what they're doing. And in the apparel space, it's really just Nike and Lululemon are the only ones I like long term. So if we go ahead and pull back to around 120, again, even with a rough second quarter in regards to retail sales, Nike is the bellwether in the retail space. Do you have any interest in playing CMG split rumors on the upside? CMG is so expensive that to me it's not worth the risk to want to go ahead and actually buy any calls ahead of that rumor. Square price upgrade, which level are you looking to add more? I do love Square, but I don't own Square. I own PayPal. Square is not a bad thing. Obviously, I've traded options on it. When it comes to Square, if you want to buy, right around 146.96 would be a really good level to buy. If you're looking for a deeper discount, 137.25 is your next level. Super excited to hear that podcast. Yeah, definitely the politics one. It may ruffle some feathers. I may get some unfollowers. I may get some hate mail. I mean, what can I do? I mean, I'm just, it's not a political thing. It's just more just talking about how it's going to affect your money, whoever wins, and what to expect. So I'll leave that. I'll definitely leave that disclaimer ahead of time. How do you feel about Disney? Gap fill possible today. Let's look at Disney. Disney, I do own stock in Disney. Are we looking at the gap fill for the daily? I see what you're saying. Yeah, 118. It won't happen today, obviously, unless you get a real flush. But I could see where you're going with a 121 now. Could be interesting here if you play 118. Maybe take a look at the 120 puts for Disney. Let's take a look at that volume when we get the open. But again, let's wait for 10 a.m. Take it easy. Will you be buying Google? I own Google in my ETF, which is SpyG, so I don't see myself buying Google at all, honestly, because I already own some in my ETF. I don't want to buy it individually if I already own it. Thoughts on metals and the possible push of stimulus? Actually, metals are getting tanked right now because there is no stimulus. So the dollar is actually gaining. Dollar is actually up 0.1%. I think gold is a great thing to have in a slice of your portfolio. I love it long term. I'm going to be buying a little more miners today. I think my alert hit on GOLD, which is Barrick Gold. I thought I had my alert there. Yeah, it did break my alert to the downside. Let's see the daily. Bear Gold is the only one I have. Right at the 100-day moving average. Could be nice of a buy. I'll see if I could wait down to the 200-day as well, since I do own it long term. I am bullish gold long term, again, with all this debt that we have out there. So again, it's something to look at. But silver is taking a big brunt of it, is down in a bear market. But again, there is no prospect of a stimulus at this moment. So again, the dollar is soaring with that. I have a swing trade on Tesla October 2nd, 405. I got in year to date. Got in yesterday. Do you think I should just sell? What level should I sell? Tesla, let's see. I'm assuming calls. That's a tough one. Let's see if we can maximize this chart here. Yeah, I mean 400. That must have been an expensive trade. Take a look at the pre-mark at the open. If we can get above 378, 380, you may want to hold it because you could get that pop or maybe a relief pop. But for now, it is kind of bearish. So wait until 945 and see where you are. If it stays at 365 and below or 370 and below, you're gonna have to sell it. Definitely. NIO, I don't own NIO. I own Tesla instead. And NIO, again, I've been saying it before on previous videos. 20 is your level. 20 is the level to break. Until you break 20 cleanly, you don't trade this name. You don't. If you want to play puts, you got to play below 17. So I would say 1692 would give us a nice level to play some puts on NIO. Zooming correction puts under 100 that 100-day. I don't think Zoom is in correction territory as of yet. I highly doubt that. The high was 529. We only got to 45. So let me see if I can get that. 529 to 485. So you're talking about 8%. It's not there yet, but I could see where your head's at in regards to correction. Zoom is an expensive name, guys, when it comes to calls and puts. So I rarely play them, and it's very volatile. If you were wanting to play that, man, I think that 100-day is definitely there, but it's a resilient name. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce off that 50. We've been kind of bouncing around that level. So keep in mind, you're paying a lot of money if you're owning the name for the growth. Again, Zoom is the new wave in regards to work at home. So I like it. I'd rather own Microsoft since they have Teams, but Zoom is fine. But hold that 100-day, that 50-day moving average. We'll see what we get. We are seeing a slight bounce on Nasdaq. Let's see what happens. Roku, I own that stock long term. We talked about that yesterday as well. In regards to Roku, yeah, we had that big pop almost 2 days in a row, about 20% combined. Almost, I got to $200.73, and then it fell about 15 bucks. Let's see if it can stay above that 50-day moving average. If it doesn't, then you need to start taking a look at the 175 for puts, which I was looking at 2 days ago, but then it kept soaring. Thoughts on Take Two? Take Two at home. We know the drill when it comes to video games. I like Take Two. I like Activision Blizzard. But again, everything with tech is falling. I recommend just buying ESPO, which is the ETF for video games. I own that as well. That owns Nvidia, AMD, Nintendo, Konami, Take Two, EA Sports, and Blizzard, and all that. I think all that Epic Games or something like that. I don't know if Epic is a public one. I don't think they have it. But again, look at Take Two. If you're looking to actually buy the stock itself, wait till 150. Give it 10 more dollars and see if you can pull the trigger there. But when it comes to puts, you need to break that 100-day moving average first. Then you could target maybe short term 155. But I never see the volume on Take Two, anyways. Um, Thoughts on entry price on Zillow. So Zillow is basically a play on real estate as everyone's moving towards the suburbs, which is nice. And you could see here that 100-day moving average is holding. And it has pretty much held since about 3 Thursdays ago. So again, you could kind of see, 2 Thursdays ago, you could see that kind of a holding pattern. I think we could break that with a little more pressure in the market, 89.77. If you were looking to buy some, $90 seems about right. Can Slack work really compete with Microsoft long term? I don't think so. I think Microsoft is the way to go. I'd rather own Microsoft over Slack any day of the week. Buy Netflix long term on current price. It's back to end of June levels. If you're talking about the stock, I do own it. Don't plan to sell it, obviously. And looking at it here, if you're looking for a nice opportunity to buy, it is below the 100. I would say 410 is my level to buy some more Netflix. Love the stock long term. Hey, Carlos, what do you think about overall market conditions, SLV and GLD? Again, SLV and GLD is all because of the dollar. And the dollar is going to keep strengthening as long as there's fear in the marketplace and no more spending, aka stimulus. So gold isn't exactly your safe haven because it isn't safe right now when everything's red. But again, I like it long term. And I think that we're still in this pattern of 2009 in the fall. Once we get the election out of the way, we actually have a clear winner, and this is over. That uncertainty is done. This is basically uncertainty. 2016, we didn't have such a flush, but we had this volatility as well, and we came out the other side pretty good in 2017 and 2018, guys. So yeah, you can't look just 1 month ahead in front of you or a day in front of you. You're an investor, you really got to look long term. And I definitely don't want to panic sell on anything because, again, perspective has to be there. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and the ETF on video is ESPO. Put debit spread on Tesla. No, I think it would be too expensive for you. Don't do that. I would not do that. Again, you have some levels to break on Tesla first. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much again for taking the time out of your day to watch the morning note. Thank you to 278 viewers that are watching this morning. You're very, very much appreciated. And make sure to don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. We'll catch you tomorrow for Friday's morning note. It's September 24th today. Catch you tomorrow. Have a great day. I'm going to go back with my students now. We'll catch you then.